What's up, everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Bastion, and last time we got our first shard, notably the sort of magenta-ish alternative to the cores we were getting before, because apparently Zolf did some stuff to sabotage the Bastion, so that's not good. We have, of course, though, upgraded our forge using that shard, so we have the option to get some bigger and better weapons going forward. But let's head to the Skyway.
To use the shards to stake out the wilds. So much for that plan.
And so now we can either go to the Rothis Lagoon, where there is another shard detected, or we can go try our hand at the Slinger range, the proving ground for the new double or dual pistols that we acquired. So maybe we give this a shot.
You have to think fast to survive the wilds, and none thought faster than the Slingers. They could shoot their pistols with the speed of a machine.
Alright, let's see. What do we have to do? I heard stuff popping up. Hold on, that makes me suspicious. I mean, these are, of course, our rewards, yes, but what ought we do? Destroy targets quickly.
They knew just when to start shooting and when to stop.
Be good to know exactly how many shots it takes. I wish I had memorized that.
Those pistols could spit out rounds just as quick as you could pull the trigger.
Yeah, no, it's definitely better to manually pull the trigger rather than hold the shoot button.
Learning to hold your fire could be its own challenge.
Ooh. Not the same accuracy we were looking for. And now we're getting a little more the hang of it. Nice.
Much quicker than the average pistolier.
No, just the first one? Yeah, our beginning was quite slow. I feel like we could do a lot better than that, but let's see. Next, oh, we were so close. So close. Well, let's take the reward, and I believe that is what it takes to upgrade our slingers here. Might even be worth heading back to the Bastion, seeing if we can afford another upgrade, and with that, and certainly the knowledge of what we're trying to do,
weren't quick enough to escape the calamity.
Then maybe we could get the next one unlocked, because that was extremely close. I mean, just having a better beginning, I think, alone might be sufficient to hitting that next threshold. Oh. And we are so close to being able to afford this right now. What would it be? Bullets ricochet on contact. I don't think that would help for this challenge, at least. Plus one target penetrations per shot. Also not relevant for this challenge, at least. Still, yeah, you know what? I feel like we were so close. Let's give that one more shot. And then, you know, maybe we'll upgrade the stuffs, our slingers, before we head out to get the next shard.
The slingers could plug you full of holes faster than you could say draw.
Okay, so our target is 500. Now we know what we're dealing with. Much better than last time. So in many ways, I think this is a matter of how quickly can you spam the shoot button.
Pistols. Eventually, it all comes down to reflexes.
Come on. Okay, we're past 500. Don't know what the next threshold is.
No matter how fast fast you are, you can always get faster.
Okay, well, we did get something stringy, which is, I believe, the bow upgrade material, so that's nice. We need 700 or more. We're close, but not ridiculously close, and especially given how, at this stage, we know that the next upgrade for the weapons, these weapons, is not going to affect how quickly we can complete this challenge, so might be 2 upgrades away before we might have a way to more easily improve our score on this one, because otherwise we'd have to have a pretty darn perfect round in order for us to get to 700, I would think, because no glaring mistakes on that one that we just did. And of course, if you just repeat it a whole bunch, then maybe you happen to react faster on a given attempt, but let's carry on. Alright, let's see. So now I think we are probably looking to head on out, and rather than continuing here, let's check out this next spot where we can hopefully track down a shard. Folktales say this is where the legendary Anklegator Queen resides. That sounds like something that is not good, but sure, we'll go there, because what could possibly go wrong? Anklegators are nearly extinct, though folktales say an ancient one resides right here.
Anklegators used to roam the wilds, and they nested at Rotha's Lagoon.
Okay.
Many a tale folks used to scare their children straight originated here.
Okay, that's good to know. Can we destroy this or just wiggle? Will I just wiggle? Okay. So Anklegators, what exactly does that entail, you ask? Guy over here. Ooh, trying to sneak up on us like that? Not so fast. There we go. Oh, I
All
totally
kinds
forgot
of
about that.
beasts what don't know up from down, still lurking about.
So, pistols should be more effective than they were the last time we actually took them out on a full-blown mission. Because we did upgrade them in between, I believe.
These beasts, they don't like company.
Okay. Ooh, you may be correct with that. Ooh, I was too close for that. I'm still trying to hit you in the butt, because that's where you take damage. What do we have here? Sneaky decoy, you say?
Only the city's brushers knew their way around the lagoon.
Press RT to use sneaky decoy. Shall we do that now? Simple decoy that it, well, wanted to attack, except we were kind of standing right next to the decoy, which is probably not a good idea. Also, I really would have liked that healing potion. Ooh, you shoot free. That's not cool. Also, you didn't let us deflect that, which is also not cool. Fortunately, you are going down with just one hit, unlike the other ones. Okay. Supposed to go this way or the other way?
They used to think that Anklegators were extinct.
That
Well, they ain't.
doesn't look
One of
good.
them's been living in the tall grass. They called her Queen Anne.
Can we maybe just deal with these guys first, before we deal with Queen Anne? Okay. Queen Anne, you say? Ooh. Okay, we sort
Turns
of
out
saw
Queen
her.
Anne got a hold of a shard. Anklegators love shiny things.
There we go. Patience. Patience.
The lagoon's got plenty of other dangers, of course.
You gonna drop any more of the fruits for us, by any chance? so we can heal up a little bit more? I mean, we're almost at full HP, so we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Maybe. What's that? Oh. That was probably the sound in question.
Know what smells worse than an anklegator's breath? A stinkweed.
I bet. Let's not test the name of said plant.
Can't fight Queen Anne without the proper tools. Ain't time for pecker hunting, but the kid can't resist.
This is true. You caught me red-handed. Okay. Let's take the pipe.
Rushers use their pikes to keep their distance around here. Now the kid can do the same.
Okay. Oh, hello.
They say you can't hurt an anklegator unless it's raining. And it ain't raining.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, you don't say. Oh, well, there's the ankle gator.
Sharp sticks make Queen Anne nervous, so she backs off a bit. Those pin cushions have been living off the ankle gator's scraps.
I can't tell if Queen Anne is still here. Hold on. Not really the place we want to be right now. Wait for it. Also just blatantly missing. Oh, that time it didn't go. Missed every time until the time that we took down our shield. Of course. Of course. Oh, that's also very much not what I wanted to do.
Queen Anne can't fit down some of these narrow paths.
Then he's gonna say, but some of them she can. Okay, got some HP back, but not that much. Ooh. Okay, you are still up. So, I mean, we might as well take you out. Oh, what? What the heck? That's illegal. That's also illegal. It's also illegal. Maybe this wasn't the best idea to come back here, just for the experience. Now, we probably do need to heal. Oh, I see. I see how it is.
Queenie leaves the kid in some kind of twisted trap.
Yup, you could say that again.
One bad step in that tall grass, and he's Queen Anne's lunch.
Okay, so don't step in the tall grass. Gotcha. Okay, seems as though we are very keen on hitting this one. This is not working so well. On the deflection side of things, at least. Excuse me? Go ahead, go for it. I dare you. I dare you. That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
He holds his ground. Seems the Queen's running out of options.
Okay. Hey, Queen. I mean, do we dare?
Still
we
no
dare.
sign of the shard.
We dare. Gives us the chance to go to the arsenal here. I mean, not sure we want to switch anything, though. We certainly want to have a ranged weapon, and then the Brusher's Pike is kind of that mid-range option, which I'm guessing we should probably take the hint that it's worth keeping that. I was gonna say, there's definitely gonna be enemies popping up here. The way that one goes, at least.
The closer you get to an anklegator's lair, the thicker the tall grass grows. Kids gotta make a run for it.
Oh. Do we now? Do we
Those
now?
leaping lunkheads don't like Queen Anne any better than the kid.
Oh,
Can't
well.
get hasty in a place like this.
Well, that's technically not the right way, it seems. Where do we go? Is my question. Where exactly are we supposed to go, though? And I rolled off again. Because, not entirely sure is the thing. I vaguely remember this happened to me when I was here previously as well. My first playthrough. Where exactly are we supposed to go? I see all this stuff here. Can we break through this? No. Break through that? Still no. Where do we go? The heck? I don't get it. I don't quite get it. Unless we like have to kill this guy or something. Okay, I mean, took care of him, I suppose, but now what? So anytime you head over into the tall grass, there we go. The anklegator pops up, and that's when you need to make a run for it. So that is what we shall do here.
Queenie must have scared a bunch of peckers out of hiding.
More grenades.
Seems even stinkweeds know to stay away from the queen.
Just wait for it. Just wait for it. Be patient. Be patient. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. There we go. Ooh, and something pointy as well. Remind me which one that's for? That's for... Oh, the pike. Okay, the one we just picked up. Of course, that makes sense, I suppose. Okay, so we're probably going to need to make a run for it here. Grab that. What do we have here? An anklegator egg? That can't make her happy.
Anklegators don't much care for their young. That's why there ain't many around.
Okay.
Wanna know how to find an anklegator lair?
You just end up in
Gator's
one.
bait.
Oh dear. Okay, well here she is. And I think what we need here is to
Now
use...
she's coming for him. She's got nowhere else to go. The shard's sitting in plain view.
I see it. But we kind of have an anklegator.
They say if you run across an anklegator, you better keep running. He's
Take
got
it.
it. And now to finish her off.
That still didn't go so well. Actually, not sure if we can use the anklegator to help take out the peckers. That may or may not be a thing, but oh, again, the additional life is quite nice. So what we can do here is you try to get its attention. Like this. You roll past
She's
it,
starting to get annoyed.
and then shoot it. When she pops up. Ooh, that's not good though. That's quite bad, in fact. Oh, this hurts. Just want to get rid of all your friends. There we go. Hello? Oh, I was really expecting you to pop up there. So technically, I think we're supposed to, air quotes, use the shield, or rather use the pike. You'll notice, the further along we go, the more we damage her, the quicker she becomes.
And now he's made her mad.
Means we have a much smaller margin for error. Oh, that was not intended. Oops. Big time oops. I just thought it was going to be a clever way to go to a different...
Anne don't mind us borrowing from her treasury.
No! Okay, I'm actually really, really mad about that one. I thought it was going to just pop us over into a different area of that, or different, like, platform of that same section, and so we could temporarily avoid her. I mean, we almost had her there for what it's worth, and obviously we had plenty of HP. It was just a matter of, what does this button do? And this button does exactly what I don't want to do, so yeah, that one leaves a bit of a foul taste in my mouth. To the point where, I would ideally say if we could do it again, that'd be fantastic, but I'm afraid it is not that straightforward. Yeah, I'm really, really mad at myself for having done that, but of course, curiosity got the better of me, and it did in fact backfire. We can at least use the shard at the monument.
All that trouble for a single shard, but you know what? It was worth it.
But fortunately, we at least engaged with the Anklegator long enough to see what it was all about. As I was starting to say, the more you damage her, the faster she becomes, and therefore the more difficult it becomes to get her attention, get close enough for her to pop up, and still have time to dodge out of the way and shoot her. And that's where using our special ability, where we create the decoy, becomes much more of a factor. And that's another type of enemy, much like those armored frog-like dudes that I remember in my first playthrough of Bastion, I was having quite a bit of trouble with, because the first part in that type against a Anklegator like that, not so bad when she's relatively slow, but once she starts getting really fast, there's so little time to actually apply the damage that it can become very, very tough. But anyways, let's check back in with Rux about the Anklegator egg. So have you ever seen anything like this before?
They said Queen Anne was just a folktale. Now there's living proof she ain't.
Certainly is living proof. And so there, in terms of the consequences for having left that mission before I meant to leave that mission, without going too far into spoiler territory for those of you who have not yet played, there may be an achievement for taking her out. I don't remember that. May or may not be the case. But there's another more subtle benefit that we're going to miss out on for not having done that, in addition to probably missing out on a whole bunch of resources from not having defeated her and whatever other friends she might have had before the end of that encounter. But anyways, I think at this point, unfortunately, there's not really any backtracking. I don't think we can go back to that area once we've completed it, or even if we could, we'd probably have to rerun the entire zone, and that was obviously the final encounter of that zone, which stinks, because that was, of course, a boss fight of sorts. But anyways, no use dwelling on the past. Let's carry on, and we can ask Zia about the Anklegator egg. So, do you think that an Anklegator could be tamed, for example? Totally theoretical question that definitely would not be relevant if we had, say, completed that encounter the way we intended to complete it.
That gator's a crazy gal. But so's the gal who promised to look after her.
Oh! Okay. As it turns out, so this is the thing that I thought we were not going to be able to do after having cut that encounter short. So, much like we got a pet squirt, and we got a robotic bull of sorts, after having completed that encounter, kind of, sort of, but not really, we somehow were still fortunate enough to unlock a pet Anklegator of our own, hanging out here by the Bastion. So I thought that we were going to miss out on this because we did not complete the encounter.
Just you wait.
So I'm glad we at least still got this. That was my biggest concern, but like I said, in that case it seems like we probably just missed out on more resources, so unfortunate, but we'll live. And we do still have one more shard to upgrade something here. Of course, we've already upgraded our forge, but we can upgrade the arsenal. I mean, what happens if we upgrade an arsenal? Any blenders? True arsenal grants access to the Trapper Snare, a powerful secret skill. Okay, gives us a secret skill, whereas the distillery grants access to potent spirits from the private reserve. We do have one spirit at least that we feel like it's okay, it's not amazing. So unlocking additional spirits is an intriguing option that I feel like maybe rises to the top of my list. We were looking at this before. Additional inventory for new spirits. Okay. Access to a variety of new vigils. Access to new idols on the Pantheon. I think I'm leaning toward the spirits here. At the distillery? Let's go this route.
Just the occasion to crack open the distillery's private reserve.
Because we got the fetching fizz, which is convenient, yes, but not helping us directly all that much, so let's take a look at what our new options are here. Falling Malt, reduce damage from falling, plus 200% damage by falling on foes. So if we can knock enemies offside or outside the bounds of the arena, then it can be very effective. I'm not sure we've ever made a deliberate point of doing that. Very dry with flavors of pepper and gravel, first crafted by mountaineers, claiming it helped them keep a surer foot. For Black Rise, it is plus 2 black tonic capacity, so that's the type of resource we use to use our special abilities. Has the fullness and texture of a hearty stew. Said to improve short-term memory as well. I suppose that's kind of what dictates your ability to use those special abilities, so that's not bad, especially if we have a special ability that we are particularly big fan of. Life Wine. Survive an attack that would have brought defeat. How does that differ from the Hearty Punch? Damage surrounding... Oh. Plus 1 chance to carry on if defeated. Damage surrounding foes if defeated. Sounds very similar. Creamy, nutty flavors said to bring about courage and confidence. Favorite drink of slingers and those other risk-taking sorts. I mean, the Hearty Punch and the Life Wine do seem like the ones that are perhaps the most potent, at least if things are not going particularly well for you, whereas the Black Rye is more of a... These are reactive when your enemies are going to take you down, whereas this is more of a proactive, hey, let's hit them before they hit us, so maybe we go with the Black Rye.
Black Rye is like hot pineapple chowder on a cold day.
Vineapple?
Brings back memories.
Okay, if you say so. And then the forge is lined up, because we do have some resources here that we can potentially put to good use. An upgrade for the bow, the dueling pistols, and the new spear. I mean, it's been a while since we used the bow. It was, of course, one of our first weapons. Don't have a ton of resources left to purchase these. So, I mean, this would be a good example of if we had actually completed that encounter with the previous Anklegator fight, then might have had a whole lot more than what we're currently looking at here. We could certainly at least get one. It increases the draw speed or the target penetration of the bow. That's one option. Alternatively, if we're going to use the pistols, we can get target penetration or ricochet on contact. Then with the spear, this one's cheap, at least the first one. Critical hit chance or faster throw reload. The throw did seem notably quite slow. And probably if you're using the spear, you're still going to use a more dedicated ranged weapon along with it, in which case you may not be relying on that throw all that much. So I'm not sure how necessary that really is. I feel like these are our two most recent additions, so maybe we continue to use them a little bit longer. And this is going to be pretty expensive, though. We have enough for... We have just enough for the dueling pistols plus the spear, one round of the spear. So maybe we do that. I'm a little bit intrigued by the ricochet option.
That ought to give those dueling pistols a little extra kick.
Because an experimental propellant that somehow causes bullets to bounce from target to target seems like, especially since this is kind of like the repeater, in that you can fire a whole bunch of shots really quickly, and when you do so, if you happen to have a bunch of enemies around, then you're hitting your direct target, sure, but you may also deal a bunch of damage to neighboring enemies. Then for the spear, with the critical hit chance versus the faster throw reload, I mean, the 15% crit chance is not a huge number, but I feel like, as I was saying before, whenever you're using the spear, even if it's kind of a hybrid between a ranged and melee weapon, you're probably still taking some kind of dedicated ranged weapon like the Fang Repeater, or yeah, like the Repeater, like the dueling pistols, like, you know, the bow, for example, in which case that's not going to be as relevant to have the reload speed on this, so...
To fix a brusher's pike, you just need a good length of knife bark.
And now we are basically broke. basically broke. And, well, with that, I think this is probably a good place for us to wrap up here. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, like I said, I absolutely intended to finish that encounter there with the ANKLEGATOR, but I, for whatever reason, thought that the teleporter would have just taken us to a slightly different platform on which we might have had a little bit of a break from the ANKLEGATOR, take some time to, I don't know, maybe attack it from afar or heal up, and then, or take out its friends, and then hop on back to a different Skyway place and, well, fight it back in the main area. The last, Skyway, I suppose I should have known. Believe it or not, surprise, surprise, takes you to the Skyway. Granted, didn't have all the time in the world to read or consider that as the ANKLEGATOR was chasing us down, but as I said, we fortunately did still get the pet ANKLEGATOR over here, and that is the big thing that I want to make sure that we still acquired. And so, worst, I think the worst comes to worst, all we missed out from there might have just been the resources, and that's not a huge deal, so we'll carry on. Shouldn't be too much of a problem, but with that being said, I'll catch you next time, so I'll see you then.